It's 4:30, so we're going to get the meeting started. We will start off with our Pledge of Allegiance. I have a volunteer. Austin, will you start our pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes from the previous meeting were sent out to you all in an email, and they were presented outside. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented? Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes pass. Do we have any old business at this time? Seeing none, we'll move into new business. First, we have a court table report with Fletcher Borman.
All right, this previous Thursday, I went and set up a table in faculty hall. Didn't get any questions, but I got a few people who I got to talk to a few people and just told them about what SGA was all about and what my role is.
Very good.
That's all I have.
That's it. Very good. Emily Cornwell.
All right, so I actually got a lot of people that didn't know what SGA was, and then kind of like what Fletcher said, faculty hall wasn't really a good place to set up, I realized, because most people were in class most of the time. But I got a lot of people concerned about the parking situation. There's never enough parking. People were concerned about the elevators in faculty and how they aren't efficient and how half the time they don't work. And let's see. Someone actually suggested that Greek organizations and CAP help each other out sometimes, like maybe use the connections of like sororities and fraternities to pull in different events and to bring people in. So that could bring in some bigger names or some bigger events. And that was pretty much it.
Thank you. Tyler here? Tyler Bill. I don't see Tyler. I don't think he's here. Any other corp table reports? Am I missing anybody? Freshman centers, do you have a report?
Our next meeting is Monday.
Perfect. Next meeting is Monday. So if you know of any freshmen that are looking for an easy way to get involved, freshman council is a really great way to do that, get your foot in the door. They do different community service type projects, and then they talk about issues on campus and things like that as a freshman. So they met with Dr. R in their first meeting and talked about summer orientation and their experiences so far. So if you know of a freshman, I just encourage them to do that as well, because I think it's a great opportunity for them. Our next item of business is Resolution 81-17-R2. And in order to discuss the resolution, I need a motion for the adoption of Resolution 81-17-R2. So do I have a motion to adopt Resolution 81-17-R2? Do I have a second? Alrighty. First, we will go into reading the resolution. Fletcher, if you would read that for us, please.
All right, so this is Resolution 81-17-R2. No, it says R3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's right on here. That's good. Sorry.
It's a resolution to support the reopening of the Car Health Building on weekends. So the purpose is for the Student Government Association, Murray State, to support the reopening of the Car Health Building to students, faculty, and staff on weekends. Whereas the prevention of the use of the Car Health Building on weekends inhibits students from engaging with their peers and faculty or staff members through the various services provided through the Car Health Building. And whereas the various student organizations on campus are now prevented from hosting social and philanthropic events due to the closing of the Car Health Building on weekends. And whereas as a Murray State University community, we strive to promote students, student organizations, faculty, and staff in engaging in the recreational, educational, social, and philanthropic opportunities the university offers. Therefore, be it resolved that the Student Government Association of Murray State University supports the reopening of Car Health Building to students, faculty, and staff on weekends.
I will say in my role as SGA president, I called to validate that Car Health is now closed on the weekends, and that started this fall semester. So they did used to be open, and they are now closed. Do I have any discussion about this resolution at this time? Nick?
So just from thinking with the budget crisis that is happening and the reason it closed on the weekends, where would the money, do we know where the money would be coming from? Because it closed for a lack of money. And so I know that, the only two ways to get more money is to either charge more tuition or to get the money from something else. I don't know where the money would be coming from. That's just a
That's a great point.
question.
Any other discussion?
How often is the Car Health building used? Because I know I've only been there like once my entire career. I don't know how popular it really is. Do you know?
I know for weekends, one of the biggest things that it's used for is the fraternities and sororities will use it to host their philanthropy events. I know Phi Kappa Tau has hosted their spring philanthropy, which is a volleyball tournament in Car Health for the past couple of years. And that's usually on Saturdays.
Claudia?
Is there a way we could just have them agree to possibly stay open for select weekends? Like if someone's interested in hosting a philanthropic event versus them staying open every weekend?
Well, I think what's important to note is that our resolution doesn't actually validate anything or make them change it. It's just saying that we support that change. So we're saying that we as students, that is what we believe if we were to pass it. So they could, make action after this, or they could not. So that's essentially what the resolution would do. Emily?
Is there any reason why Car Health specifically is important? Because there are plenty of other buildings on campus that are open, like the Career Center, the Wellness Center is still open on weekends. So like for specific events, I know ASA tried to use Car Health a couple of weekends ago, and we just ended up using the Wellness Center and it worked fine. I think if we're talking about opportunity cost here, if we need to save the money, that would be the place to do it.
Nick?
Just to kind of add on that too, I feel like with that, it's rather than having it open every weekend and whether it get used or not, it would be more beneficial to just use something else than try to use that building just cost-wise, because tough times, we have to cut things, because if we don't, then we're just going to dig ourselves a hole. So.
Connor?
So the big thing with Car Health is the courts. Don't know if you're aware of this, but wellness, you really can't reserve them. It's first come, first served. You can get bumped off. If, say, another group has an agreement with them or some sort through internals or anything like that, so you can get bumped off. But the big attraction of Car Health is the open courts. You can reserve it. And just for other team events, like Fletcher said with volleyball or any other, like, I believe dance team used to have practices on weekends or something like that. But it's other student organizations on campus that had to either move off campus or had to completely rearrange their schedules. So.
Tyler?
Does anyone know how much it costs to reserve one of the gyms in Carl?
I think it's $15 an hour.
Okay. So couldn't they just charge a little bit more and have it on the select weekends?
It's an option for them. Sure. Nick?
Just with that too, it would be substantially more. I feel like there's not that many groups use it. So is there a way that we could possibly make Wellness Center reservable, like the courts?
Just to repeat, I guess, what we're able to do is we can make a resolution in support of that, saying that we support them having, getting it reserved. And if we were to pass said resolution, I would make efforts in trying to accomplish that on your behalf. But in this stage, it's hard to know what that would be like, I guess. I'll also say, as a reminder, per our parliamentary procedure, you have the opportunity to amend this and you have the opportunity to table it for another meeting as well. So that's something to keep in mind. And you have the opportunity to pass or fail this resolution. Is there any other discussion? Alrighty, seeing no more discussion, we will go ahead and move into a vote if there is not a motion to table it or any amendments.
I move to table this until we can look more into wellness and see if we can make that return.
Okay, how about,
Table this first.
so do I have a motion to table Resolution 8117-R3 until the next regularly scheduled meeting?
So,
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of tabling Resolution 81-17-R3 until our next regularly scheduled meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Alrighty, we have tabled Resolution 81-17-R3 and we'll bring it up in old business next week, given that we do have our meeting and that we're able to do a little bit more research into wellness. We will go ahead and move into our next item of business. Tyler, do you want to give us a report on your court table?
Yeah, I can. So I'm on the 6th, so signing Gray Lab, but there's not really much to report. I went to the engineering building by myself. Talked to probably my 10 students, everyone was kind of aware, talked to probably just as many faculty, which was beneficial, but nothing major to report, no concerns really, just getting our faces out there.
Is there any further new business at this time? Nick?
So I accomplished my goal a while ago, and I just kept on forgetting to say it. But so my goal was to set up a comment box in the White College lobby, and I basically used a shoebox, made it creative and colorful, and put almost like a kiosk type deal set up in White. So that way it kind of gives them an idea of who their representatives are in White College, and also a way to directly get in contact with us indirectly. So they don't have to try and find me. They can just leave me a note in my box, and then I'll get it and email them back. So that's.
Thank you. Any other new business? Alrighty. Seeing none, we will move into our branch reports. Craig Lamb.
Yeah, I got a couple of things this week. First, to my Regents guys, I don't know where you're at. I put in a formal request for the handicap spots to be moved. So I haven't heard back from Parking Services yet, but I have gone through the correct paperwork channels for that. So I'll kind of stay on that, check every week, and we'll see how quickly they can get that done. As far as the OVC tournament this weekend, we're hosting the soccer tournament. So from tomorrow through Sunday, I believe there's a game on Friday, there's a game on Sunday. So be aware that there's going to be limited parking here at the Career Center, a couple of visitor spots down at the front that we need to block off for the buses and the refs and things like that. And then also up at Racer Arena, at the red-blue lot that touches Racer Arena right up here across from Mason Hall, will be barricaded, I believe, tomorrow through Sunday. So there are some maps of that on Facebook. It's on the Parking Services, Murray State Parking Services Facebook. I've shared it. If you guys would get on there and share that, that would be fantastic and helpful, so we can try to mitigate the amount of parking tickets that come out of that this weekend. And then as far as the Budget Advisory Committee, JT Payne and myself sat through that last Thursday. Had a really good first meeting, very informative. If you've got specific questions at this time, I'll let you direct those to the President's office. But
back to you.
At this point, it's just that we're going to need to give it a little more time and see how things progress as far as the budget pension issue, and things of that nature. So just so you know that JT and myself will be the student representatives, and if you have anything that you'd like to be put in front of that committee, questions, comments, concerns, want to talk more in depth about it, I'm sure that you can find JT or me. Either one would be happy to talk about it. So that's all I've got.
Becca.
Hi guys, sorry. I have the winners for homecoming lobby decorating. For high rises, first place went to Hester, second went to Lizzo, and third went to Regents. For low rises, first was Clark, second was Springer Franklin, and third was Richmond. So good job to everyone for participating and taking a big part in that. There are now copiers in the residential colleges and should be operating here fairly soon, and it'll be 12 cents a page to make copies in all of the residential colleges. Also, I have dates for family weekend for next year. It will be September 18th through the 20th, so I know it gets really crazy trying to get hotels for families if they wait too long. So if you guys' families want to get on the ball and try to get hotels here fairly soon, it'll be September 18th through the 20th. Does anyone have any questions for me or anything? All right, thanks guys.
Thank you. We'll now move into officer reports. Rachel?
The only thing I have is a money saving tip. There's this website called Brad's Deals, and it lets you know of the biggest sales that are going on. You can customize it and it'll send you an email every time a certain store has a sale. So I use it quite often.
Cool. Bailey behind him?
Nothing huge. Make sure you're doing your office hours there, an hour a week, just to clear up any confusions. They go from like Monday to Friday, not Wednesday to Wednesday. And then after the meeting, I need to see Dustin Howell and Tyler Howell and Dustin Rowley.
Madison Jarrett?
So last night we had the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Thank you all for coming into that and getting the word about that out there. We had just south of 500 people show up, which is pretty good. That's regular attendance. So great job with that. There was an email sent out to all registered student organizations about applying for Miss MSU. So with that, every student organization is allowed to nominate 4 people to be in the pageant. Applications for that are going to be due November 15th or by the 15th. And then, when do they say? Applications are due the 15th and then?
And interview, if you're select, they'll sign up for interviews on the 30th.
On the 30th, okay. I was looking at something else. Okay, so interviews will be the 30th. And then for homecoming now, we have a chair open on CAB for homecoming committee. So if you're interested in that, you can go pick up an application in the CSI office for homecoming. That'll be due the 28th, and then the interviews will be that'll be due on the 27th, and then interviews will be on the 28th.
You could explain that to them, what homecoming.
Sure. So the homecoming chair, they sit on the campus activities board as a regular member, and they're in charge of facilitating all the events concerned with homecoming. You're going to be sitting on the boards for like Tent City. You're going to be sitting on everything. You're going to be informed, and you're going to be helping like do the parade. You're basically the student person in charge of organizing all of homecoming. So it's a pretty big position, and it takes up most of your time, and you start working really far in advance. So if that's something you're interested in, or you would know anyone who's interested in doing something like that, have any experience organizing big events like that, come and talk to me after the meeting, or like I said, fill out an application. I think that's about it. I think that's all I have. Yes, who had a question? Yeah.
Sorry, actually, family weekend's date is September 28th through the 30th. I was looking at the wrong thing. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. You're good.
I just didn't want people to write it down wrong and it'll be super.
No, you're fine.
Look and see it said Tuesday through Thursday on my calendars later.
You're fine. And then my last piece is November 14th. That's going to be a Tuesday from 11 to 3 p.m. in the Curtis Center Chair Rocking Lounge. We're going to be having street signs. So those are those signs that you can get like little prints on them and get whatever you want. Those always go super fast. So if you want one, I'd recommend probably getting there a little bit early. But that, like I said, that'll be November 14th. That's a Tuesday. Yep.
What time?
That'll be 11 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. It might actually even end a little bit earlier because we usually run out pretty fast because they're super popular. So get a head start on it. That's all I have.
Any questions for Madison? Okay, we'll move into my reports. I really don't have a whole lot, just that we do have vacancies. We now have 2 vacancies for Hester Residential College. So please be encouraging individuals to potentially fill those positions. Our previous senator, Lucas Reed, took another opportunity, so he's going to be pursuing a larger internship, and so we're really happy for him. But that just opens up to continues 2 vacancies for Hester. So just be aware of that. We still we have a CAB diversity chair and judicial board alternate justice. We have 2 positions for that, and the diversity and inclusion director. And And I will also say, in regards to our tabling of the resolution, I encourage you to take advantage of the week that you have and get the knowledge that you are looking for. And feel free to ask me questions, and I will do my best to get you all the answers that you're looking for. But I encourage you to pursue what you were wanting to pursue during this week, because I think it's always good to be informed. So I guess that's really all that I have. Is there any questions for me? Oh, I was going to say thanks for helping with homecoming. I'm so appreciative of all of you all that came and helped in the morning with the parade. It went really, really smooth. Thanks for my solid 4 senators that showed up for the SGA picture. Hashtag heartbroken that y'all didn't come. But it's okay. It's still a good picture. But thanks for all of your help with homecoming. It was a really, really great weekend. And so I'm appreciative of your help. And that's really all I got. Any questions? Cool. We will now move into director reports. Connor?
My committee will meet directly after this in Rush SGA.
Great. Caleb?
We met last week. Everybody that's on committee will be meeting next week.
Great. Brianna?
The homecoming coverage went really well. Hopefully you all follow our social media and saw everything. In relation to street signs and stuff, make sure that you guys share all of those posts because only so many people follow us. So if people don't know, if people follow us and they're not going to know that that's going on, so make sure that you share all that stuff. And if there's anything that you all think needs to be posted, just send it my way.
Austin Zenoble?
No report.
Austin Gordon?
Nothing to report.
And our chief of staff is out today. Is there any university committee reports at this time? And we will move into our guest reports. Dr. Davies?
I just want to echo first the homecoming celebration for all the individuals that were involved in putting on homecoming, participating in the homecoming. It was a spectacular event. A lot of alumni came back, and we're very appreciative of all the activities and talking with the students and getting to be reacquainted, if you will, with Murray State University. And also participating in a lot of the student events. I know that there's a lot of good things going on. So to everyone who was involved in that, congratulations, job well done. Shifting gears a little bit, I didn't know this issue about car health, so we'll do some background on our end too. But one of the things I'll try to figure out is what was the usage, the utility, not utility cost, but the utility usage, how often it was used and those type of things. So let me know how we can provide information on that as well. So, like I said, I didn't know that was an issue, didn't know it was posed, so we'll follow up on our end as well. Big discussion over the last weekend. Governor Bevin unveiled his bill, the pension bill, 505 pages. It has consumed, I will say, the administrative hallways on multiple levels, from school teachers K through 12 to state workers to everyone else involved. It is a very, very wide sweeping bill. And it's very contentious, let's just put it that way. I appreciate the governor on doing something. I'm not sure if this is the right venue or tack to take, but at least it's putting something out there. I did receive a report earlier today that it does not have a lot of support in the House. It's a little bit more supportive, but it may not get to the House. May not have a special session this year. There's a lot of what-if scenarios. If it does go into special session, what happens if it doesn't pass, what happens if it does pass. There's a lot of fluidity with this and something that we will be obviously paying a lot of attention to. This does impact you because we're talking about faculty and staff at the university and some of the decisions that they may need to make based on whatever happens with this bill. This is regardless, either way, pass it, doesn't pass, it will affect us in a significant way. Budgetarily, staffing, etc. So just be aware of it. Don't ask me any details about it because it is, like I said, a 505-page document. It is complex. I mean, you guys thought reading the term paper might have been boring. Reading this bill, it's a little bit crazy. Since you're the legislative liaison, I think we should probably look to you for discussion points on that. No? One other quick thing, we've put some notice out there The health services RFP. We did receive two firms that responded to the RFP. They responded in a very interesting way. We've gone back, talked to some of the firms who did not respond to find out specifically why. So we are reissuing the RFP. The initial RFP, I would say, focused in on what or how to do things. The RFP that we're sending out now is more on what we need. We anticipate those responses coming back over the break, and then we'll have a couple of firms on campus in January, February timeframe. As we talk about the health services, it is a cost savings measure for the university. If we do not save this cost, we cut other services. This is not a situation where we're just looking for extra cash. This is actually how do we continue to offer the services and actually enhance the services, but at the same time realizing that we have a significant budget issue before us, and if we do not do this, then what are the other areas that we will cut in the budget? So this is the type of situation that we're in. We don't have surplus cash, in other words. We talked a little bit about that in the Budget Advisory Committee, and we'll talk a lot more about that in the future. The last thing I do want to say, and it's a sad note, we did lose 2 students over the last 2 weeks, actually last week and a half. Be careful out there. Both of them were car accidents. They were not, these were pure accidents that were not unavoidable. This was not a situation where someone made a mistake or whatever. This is just, being in an automobile at the wrong place at the wrong time on both accounts. We lost 2 students. Another family lost another son who graduated from California High School last year. We have another member of the student body that is still in the Louisville hospital and probably will not be released for quite some time. Life is precious. Life is something that spur of the moment can change. So just be careful and embrace these times. And send your prayers to and your thoughts to the families. I attended one funeral yesterday. We'll be at one on Friday. This is the worst part of my job. So just begin to be safe. Before I cede the floor back, do you have any questions for me? Fantastic. Well, have a good day. God bless and go Racers. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Robertson?
Okay, well, I also want to thank everyone for their good work with homecoming. It was a great weekend. I wish you could have made it a little warmer, but other than that, it was great. Also want to echo what Tori has said about the car health bill. I do think it's important that you do the research on that, and one of the things you need to research, and I hope someone will go over and talk to the folks at the Wellness Center about what are the pros and cons of going from first come, first serve the courts to actually having them reserved. There's pros and cons to both of those, so I think that's information you would want as you're trying to decide what action you want to take on this. But obviously, talking to the individuals so you can make the best decision is important. And then the other thing is, I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. We were hiring an executive director of auxiliary services. That individual, David Looney, started this week. I met with him today. Unfortunately, he had another conflict for this meeting. He's going to be out of town next week, but he does want to come the following week. So, and that person will be working directly with dining, university bookstore, and housing. So it's obviously someone that you want to get to know and have come to some of the meetings. It's very student oriented, and you're going to enjoy getting to know them. Any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Facilities management?
Yeah, just a quick follow-up to Craig's mentioning of the Regents Hall parking request. The details of that request have been passed along to our contractor who does the striping. Should have that back by the end of the week. I will then get with parking office, discuss the details of getting that done. So should be seeing some movement on it before too long. Just be patient.
Thanks for y'all's work on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any other questions?
I have a question. Did you find out about when they were going to strike down there by coming out of CFSB?
I think that is a state of Kentucky deal. They still haven't finished a lot of that striking down there, so.
Because basketball starts tomorrow.
I'll talk to Jason and see if he's having anything on it.
What's going on with Richmond? I've noticed that there hasn't been a lot of movement out there recently.
Without getting into a whole lot of detail, they are on a pause right now. They will be back, I think, towards the end of this month or beginning of December. They're doing a little bit of research, the different folks and everything, and then they will reconvene in about a month and start doing some more. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Christian Barnes?
I don't have anything today.
Encourage people to use the laptop bank, right?
Yes. Please.
Thanks. Jeannie?
Oh, thank everyone for coming to homecoming. It was better than Christmas.
It really was. Even though it was cold.
It was cold.
I was still so happy. I was so warm on the inside. Announcements. Does anybody have any announcements? Katie?
So I can see my face. Hi guys, I'm Katie Alexander. As well as being one of the Springer Franklin residential college senators, I'm also kind of low-key in charge of some of the blood drives that come to campus. So if you guys want to sign up to be a volunteer for the drive that's coming up on November 9th and 10th, that's a Thursday and Friday, feel free to pull me aside after the meeting. If you got a jet and go somewhere, go ahead and email me. My email is kalexander17. Let me know if you're interested in volunteering. There's no healthcare background. You just sit at a table, you smile, you say, hey, would you like to donate today? If they're like, oh, I don't know if I can or not. I got a tattoo recently. I left the country recently. You just kind of hand them a packet and let them know if they can or not. We also need people to just be a friendly face sitting there at the canteen while some donors recover and get some food snacks and some juice and stuff. It's really low key. Most of the time I just study and then just say hi to my friends that walk through the Career Center. But yeah, I definitely need help. I try to staff the drives with student government members as well as people in my pre-health professionals club. But I can only get so many people because it is all day, 10 to 4, Thursday and Friday. But if you guys have even 30 minutes or an hour, I definitely need to staff those. So I'll be sending Tori or whoever applies a Google Doc or an Excel sheet with times to sign up and just sign up there. If you have my number, text me or email me, as we mentioned. If anyone has any questions, or if you would also actually like to sign up to be a donor, just pull me aside after the meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Yes, Kim?
It's been announced already, but tomorrow the School of Ag will have their meal packaging event at the CFSB Center starting at 2:30. If you would like to, come on out, bring some friends. They'll be going on for a couple hours, and the basketball games will be starting right after, so you can just stay and watch the basketball games after you pack some meals for some kids.
Thank you. Yes?
November 9th, I'm serving on a board with under Tori for United Way, and they are holding a Hungry and Homeless banquet here in Curtis. I believe it's at 6. It's $15 per student, but all the money goes straight back to Soup for the Soul and the Need Line, which some of our students do use towards the end of the semester. Basically, they're going to talk about how their organizations sort of help our community and how they sort of help fund the community.
Thank you. Christian?
And just to kind of add to that, of course, I just like to remind everybody of our food bank on campus that's in Blackburn, our racers helping racers for the food bank as well. So that's always something that you can give back to that organizations can collect, and they're always looking for donations. And of course, that's used by students who just have those needs of food insecurities, as well as just, especially with the holidays coming up too, and breaks and Thanksgiving, like those long breaks, some students just need more food. So always just keep that in mind as well.
Alrighty, I'll go into kudos. Kudos to Leanne for hand warmers at homecoming, and kudos to Katie Alexander for being awesome and energetic. Keep it up. her face. Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn? Those in favor of adjournment say aye. Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks for a great meeting.